kind of went my own way, so I started painting a little bit in grade school actually, and sculpting ceramics in high school is really what got me started. I snuck out of other classes to go into a ceramics class and got my teacher in trouble, but I loved it. So, and then from there I went to New York and got into this kind of etched imagery in glass and had my own studio there. The frontier in art that I'm most interested in exploring that's really cutting edge is molecular biology. It's one of the sciences that's going to really change our world. I think art has the ability to make the general public think. And I think a lot of the art that is hard to get for a good reason. It's not immediately accessible. It doesn't jump out at you. This is, you know, a picture of somebody's mother. It's the kind of thing that makes you, after you've seen it, look at everything else differently. And that, to me, is the best kind of art. And when you're challenged by something like that, and you look at the rest of the world differently from having been exposed to that piece of art, I think you can't help but become, in some ways, enriched and more thoughtful. And that's the best thing about art. I'm inspired by science and the minute and invisible textures you see through electron scanning and microscopy. So what I've done is taken some very, very intricate natural textures and carved them into glass photographically. And what I do is create a three-dimensional structure in the shape of a cube and carve these designs on all the sides. And then you can look into the edges of the glass and see a little hidden world that is very similar to what you see in electron scanning microscopy. The underside of the glass, the concave carved out area that was photographically etched from a cross-section of a plant stem. And this is the inner world that when you look through the side of the glass, you see the carved out shapes. And here from the top is the topographical etched design. One of my goals is called the Art Bar, and it's a 30-foot long glass bar with different layers of glass and LED lights like this embedded up into the layers of glass. And it's carved to look like the spirals from the Super Collider. I have a picture on my wall over there of those tracks from the CERN Super Collider. And the idea was to get people to look at it and say, okay, well, this is a beautiful object. The spirals are pleasing, they look like ferns, but what else is it? What else could it be? And my desire was to have a dialogue with people without myself being there, saying, this looks like there's something more going on. Wait a second, I've seen this. And a scientist showed up and said, I know what that is. And other people have asked me, what do these represent? What are they? And I think that's the key to some of my art, is to try and create a thought process that starts out with, this is a beautiful object, or this is an ugly object, or a challenging object, but then maybe there's something more, and what is it? And for them to have a visual record and perhaps look later and say, wait a second, I recognize this and I see that. And hopefully that will make them see art in a different way and also see their environment in a new way. Be constantly searching for things that connect with something they've seen before.